I say, how are you doing today? How are you doing today? I am your host, Lacey G. Soldier Turner. And today I have a very, very special guest with me. She is an American actress, R&B singer. She played Ashley Banks on the NBC sitcom The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. She has played in The Young and the Restless. She is a writer, a producer. She's produced sitcoms, web series, activist. She's a Harvard graduate, a wife, mom, designer, business owner, five-time NAACP Image Award winner. Y'all already know she does so much. So, without further ado, I want to welcome to the platform the wonderful, amazing, talented Tatyana Ali. Welcome to the platform.
Oh, it's good to be here.
Uh,
Hello.
how you doing today?
I'm good. I'm doing well today.
You've done
It's
so many great things. So, before we talk about what I want to talk about, I want to let the people who don't know you get to just know a little bit about you. So, can you let the people know where were you born and raised, and how was your upbringing as a child?
I was born in Brooklyn, in New York. I was raised in Long Island, and a little bit raised in Long Island. And then once high school started, I was in LA, Los Angeles. What was my upbringing like as a child? Um, hmm. Well, my parents are from. My mom is from Panama.
Okay.
My dad is from Trinidad, and they both came to the US when they were like around 16, 17. They met in Jersey. And so, yeah, my mom's a nurse. I had a really kind of fun Long Island childhood, hanging out with the cousins, cookouts.
Okay.
Um, I loved school. I went to public school in New York, um, and then I also really love theater, and so I started acting from a very young age, even before Fresh Prince. Like, my first commercial was when I was 4, so we used to commute to the city. We used to take the Long Island Railroad and, take the train into the city for auditions and for the theater projects I was doing. And I have 2 little sisters too. So we just had like a full bustling, accent-filled, spicy food house with lots of family. It was like I had a good childhood. It was fun.
Okay. Okay. I saw somewhere. Did you audition for Sesame Street?
I did. I was actually on Sesame Street for
Uh,
many, many years. From 4 I think the last time I was on Sesame Street, I might have been it was after I got Fresh Prince, I might have been like 12 or 13, but from 4 years old to 13, I was in and out of, Sesame Street.
so you got to do all the good, cool stuff.
Yeah, I got to work with Snuffleupagus and Big
Bird.
Bird and all the amazing puppeteers. It was fun.
I'm jealous. Not but now I want to talk about you play Ashley Banks on one of the most iconic TV shows, Fresh Prince of
Mhm.
Bel-Air. So how did you get that role, and what was it like being on set?
Well, I had done like the year before I got Fresh Prince, I did a pilot for NBC called Wally and the Valentines. And one of those clips just recently resurfaced actually. And I posted it on my socials. I was really little, I was like 9 years old. And it was about the singing and dancing family. Anyway, I did that for NBC. And then the light's changing. And then when um, Fresh Prince was, being developed, and they started having auditions, they asked me to audition for that. And I was in New York. I auditioned. I think there were sides, but then there was also like when we were all in the waiting room, all the girls, the kids, they told us to like make up like a rap.
Mm-mm.
And my rap was so corny. I can't even remember what it was, honestly. It was like 4 lines or whatever. And I remember I remember even at 11 being like, but I don't think Ashley was supposed to be a great rapper, so maybe that worked out in my favor. I did it with all my heart, you know what I mean? But it's like I was like, "Mm,
Like, no, I'm supposed to be right.
I don't know if this is it, but okay.
Yeah.
I'll roll,
So,
I'll roll with it. Let's see what happens."
so you got the
Uh,
role after that.
I got the role after that. Yeah. Like, well, I auditioned a couple more times, and then yeah, and then I found out that I got the part, and we flew to LA and shot the pilot in a few weeks, and it was really magical. Like, the cast, everybody just kind of gelled. Debbie Allen directed it,
Yes.
and
Yeah. Yeah.
it was so cool. Yeah.
You still stay in contact with a lot of other people.
Yeah, yeah, we talk back and forth. I speak a lot with Karen Parsons. She played my sister. She played Hillary on the show,
Yes.
and she has an amazing organization called Sweet Blackberry,
Uh,
and she creates stories about little known African American figures in history. And she's a novelist.
mm,
She's written incredible young adult novels and children's books. And
nice.
so we stay in contact a lot. Yeah.
Okay. So look, recently, you and Will Smith, y'all been breaking the internet from the classic Ashley Banks scene when y'all was dancing. It's 35 years later, I saw y'all recreated the dance with Doechii and her trending song Anxiety. So how did that come about?
Well, someone else did that dance, and posted it on TikTok, and then it's TikTok. It's early TikTok, and I ran out of coffee today. I was like, wait, wait, wait. People were like, there's no coffee. So I'm here with that with my coffee. Um, but yeah, that started trending, and then Will hit me up over text. He was like, "Mic check." I said, and then I wrote back 1 2 1 2, and then it started, and we started talking about doing it, or doing something, and then actually Dochi's team reached out to both of us individually
Mm,
because we were trying to figure it out, or like really trying to figure out like schedules,
okay, gotcha.
because I was traveling. I had to go to Canada for a second, and then boom, then it just like we filmed it. It was so fun, and then yeah, it was like a matter of like days.
Mm, nice. I love it. Look, I said it's getting in millions of plays too. I'm
Yo,
sorry.
let me tell you something. Can I tell you something?
Yeah, go ahead.
When I first did it, when I originally did it, I jumped really high. I was like jumping, like that, like off the ground. Same with Will. If you notice in this one, I'm doing more twists,
Yeah.
and I'm not because we tried to do it the exact same way the first time. We were both like, we
So yeah, I did it a couple times. Like cut, just do it over.
did a couple times. Yes, we did a couple times.
So let me ask you this: how did it feel? I know you played the teacher of Ashley in the reboot in Bel Air, of
Yes,
the character. So how was that?
that was crazy. First of all, I when I just when I said yes to do it because it came as an offer, I was like, okay, yeah, that's dope, that's cool. Like in here, I didn't realize what it would feel like, in my heart, and because the scene takes place in Bel Air Academy. I mean, it doesn't look exactly. We had a totally different set.
Yeah.
We were a sitcom, but all the kids are dressed up in the uniforms that we all wore all the time, and the words that they gave me, the what they wrote, I felt like I was older me talking to like the younger me, even though I'm obviously talking to Akira. She's an
Yeah.
amazing actress, but just like it was very meta. After we were done filming that scene, that was the last scene, that scene with her in the hallway when my character gets fired and like is walking out with the box. I asked the director, I was like, "Oh, is that the last take?" And he was like, "Yeah, you're good, you're wrapped." And then I like went behind one of the set walls, and it's just like exploded out of me like tears and snot. It was just it was crazy. I've never it's a that I just think it's a very special like rare experience to be able to go back to a story that way, go back to like a time in your life that way.
Yeah.
It's just wild. It's just
I,
wild. I don't even have the
I
words,
can
like
imagine.
honestly.
I can imagine. So I want to talk about one film that you did that I think is important. Giving Hope, the Nicola Mitchell story. Uh,
Oh,
can you tell the
yes.
people about that film?
Oh, okay. So that's a movie that I did for Lifetime, and it is a true story. Um, Nicola Mitchell, who founded an organization called Girls Who Brunch. The organization is still thriving. She is still thriving and doing her thing, and she mentors. Um, she mentors girls across the country, Black girls across the country, um, that are dealing with everything from abandonment to trafficking, to sex trafficking, to abuse, to and it comes. This work that she does comes from her own experience. She's also a prolific author, and she publishes her books independently. So she took what she knew about marketing and publishing her own books, and she took that and created these beautiful brunch and mentorship experiences for girls all across the country. I think at this point she's now served 45,000 girls, and it's not just a one-off where they
Wow.
go do the event. They also they call her mama. Like she stays with them, she follows them, gives them help along the way, gives their moms and their families help along the way. And I got to play her, um, and she and I became friends like immediately from the moment we met, even before I filmed,
Mm,
and we're still friends today.
nice.
And oh my gosh, yeah, that's an amazing woman. And also amazing because she's still doing her work now. Like,
Mm,
a lot of times we tell stories about people and give
yeah,
them their flowers like after they're gone.
yeah.
Like she's doing that work right now. She was
That's
very much in the midst of it when we filmed.
So that's so
Yeah,
powerful.
Nicola Mitchell, Girls Who Brunch.
Make sure
Look
y'all go watch them, tap into that. So let me
yeah.
talk about you, your motherhood journey. You had complications with your firstborn, and I saw
Mhm.
somewhere you was saying about talking about traumas, and you were saying African American women are 3 to 4 times more likely to die at childbirth than our white
Yes.
counterparts. So can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, that's a statistic that's been around for sadly, it's been around for a long time. And there's Black women, the statistic is that Black women are 3 to 4 times more likely to die, and that's independent of during childbirth. And that's independent of socioeconomic status. It's independent of a lot of factors that sometimes, in health fields, people look into it. It's not that those factors don't play a part sometimes, but the numbers, they're Black women from all different education levels, all different socioeconomic levels are experiencing um, uh, uh, care that um, is in many cases like disturbing
Yeah.
uh, during their pregnancies and then during childbirth. And the crazy thing is that like 89%, it's I might get the exact number, the percentage wrong. Most of it is completely preventable. Most of those deaths didn't have to occur. And so, I experienced in when I was giving birth to my son, my oldest son. I actually had a very healthy pregnancy, and the shenanigans happened when I was in the hospital. Um,
Was
and
that when you had to get the C-section?
yes, I ended up having to have an emergency C-section. A lot happened. It's very detailed, and I've told my stories on other platforms, and I've written about it too, in essence. But like I said, forgive me, but
No.
like I said, like preventable. It didn't have to happen, and my son ended up being in the NICU for 4 days because of what happened to us, what was done to us in the hospital setting. I was held down, all kinds of horrible things. Didn't I say coffee? Thanks, babes.
Look,
Coffee.
we got the energy. We got
Woo!
the energy now. Yes, get it. Now.
Because of you. Oh.
The energy is here now.
Ugh. Um, I have a friend that calls coffee God's sweet elixir. Oh my gosh. Um, but yeah, so I actually didn't start my advocacy until I became pregnant again with my youngest baby. And that's when, I think after my first birth, my husband and I were both just kind of like almost experiencing like a kind of PTSD, like, and we had a little baby, that we were taking care of. It was just like, let's take care of him. And But then when I found out I was pregnant again, so I was overjoyed, but I also was terrified because I didn't want us to be in the same situation. And it just so happened I was working on nursing, right? Because most women in my family, like, they only nursed for a very short period of time. If they did it all, they were told that they didn't have enough milk. And that is also, nursing is also something that has historical
Yeah.
significance in the Black community. There are reasons why, you know, um, people are really trying hard to nurse again, and it's almost like you're breaking a generational curse by doing that. Like, it's there, a lot of elder women around you might not have had that experience.
Yeah.
um, so I was going through that. I reached out on social media, like I posted a story, not even a story, I don't think stories were around then, but a picture of me nursing my son, and then I wrote about it. And an organization called Black Mamas Matter Alliance, they're the organization that coined the term Black Maternal Health Week, which is coming up mid-April. Um, they reached out for me to talk about my nursing story.
Mhm.
And I was also pregnant at the time, but not too early to tell anyone. And I was sitting in a room with these incredible reproductive justice activists, advocates, community midwives, community doulas.
Mhm.
It was like my prayers had been answered. And then I ended up working with a midwife with my second pregnancy. And I had never experienced healthcare like that before in my life. It was a totally different experience than what we had experienced before. And so that's why I've been doing that advocacy. My youngest son is about to, this summer he'll turn 6. And so from the time I was pregnant with him is when I started the advocacy, because I was learning on my own. And at the same time that I was learning, I was trying to share with others, as much as I could, um, that this community existed, and that those traumas and those deaths, they're all preventable. It's not something that doesn't have an answer.
Mhm. And I saw somewhere too, and you just mentioned it also, you was learning about traveling and learning about the reproductive justice. And so can you tell me about the blankets that you make? I know you said the proceeds go to Birth Future Foundation for grants.
Yes. So, wait, I had this is. Remember I told you I was displaced, so
Yeah.
in my house. So I don't hold on. Let me show you something.
Do
So,
what you do.
so my office is in my dining room now. I was just on Tamron Hall and I showed this blanket. So this is, I made a blanket for my youngest baby Alejandro, and I made it out of Ankara, which is this iconic um, West African fabric. And I sew like I've always sewed. I sew like the curtains in my house and stuff like that, and I sew blankets and things like that. And so I made this quilt for him. I was given a small piece of Ankara, so I added all these cottons to it, and I used it to swaddle him. I used it as a stroller blanket. And everywhere I went, people would ask me about it. Where did you get that? Oh, da da da. And it would start a conversation. It would start conversations. So I I thought it would be fun to design baby blankets.
Mhm.
And see, his is really simple.
Yes, I like it though. I
Now,
like
mind you, I'm a sewer.
I,
I like to sew, but I'm not a fast sewer. I'm like a home sewer, right? So, like,
I like it though.
if I'm sewing something for a family member, it's like, don't worry, it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. But for this, I worked with other sewers. I find the fabrics and I design the patterns,
Mhm.
and every pattern has a blessing. So, can I show you one?
Yes, of course. Look at that.
So,
Yeah. Tatyana showing us, she giving us some exclusive blankets.
yes.
I'm loving
So
it. I'm loving it.
this was we launched last April. This was our summer. These were our summer
Mm.
colors last year.
That look amazing.
So this is called Abundance.
Wow. That look great. I like that.
Oh my gosh,
How long did it take to do that?
they're so beautiful. Look, and they're handmade. And the blankets on the tag, they say what the design is, abundance, but that abundance is also the blessing. Because my husband and I, we wrote blessings for our son, and I sewed them into the blanket.
How long
Um,
did it take to make that?
that took how long did that take? I mean, it takes a while because it's a real quilt. All of those all of those are individual cut pieces. They have to be laid out. They have to be sewn together. There's batting in the middle, which is like it's kind of like a foamy cotton that goes in the middle that makes it soft. And then there's another layer in the back. And then on top of that is what's actually called the quilting.
Mm,
And that, so these little squiggles,
mm,
this little squiggle lines,
yes,
that holds the blanket together. That's why it's called a quilt.
gotcha. Okay, that look great. That look great,
Oh,
Tatyana. So
thank
let me ask you about this. You got your new lifestyle company, Baby Yams. Can you tell the people about that?
Yes, so these are baby yams. They're baby blankets. 10% of all of the proceeds go to an organization called Birth Future Foundation, and they are really an on the ground organization. They give grants to community midwives and doulas, especially Black and Indigenous midwives and doulas. Indigenous communities in our country have very similar statistics and numbers, and a lot of it is for the same reason. There's a history of this kind of abuse in America with our communities and with our families. um, and so yeah, this is our we're now we have we launched in April. We're now on our third drop. We do drops of blankets. So if
Nice.
you go to babyyams.com, you'll see abundance blankets, joy blankets, and peace blankets. That's our third drop that that are available now, and it's been it's really fun.
I can see, look, I can see the joy on your face. I can
You
see.
know, can I tell you why? And it's because sorry about that noise. Can
Okay.
I tell you why?
Yes.
You asked me about my story, right?
Yes.
I had a traumatic experience, but I also had the opposite of that. I also had an experience that, like, the way it's supposed to be. And as an advocate, I'm always asked to tell my story.
Mm,
And that is a traumatic place for me to revisit again and again and again and again. But this is work that is incredibly important to me. I want us to be safe. I want our children to be safe. We deserve that.
mm,
We deserve to be cared for properly. We deserve to only have loving hands touch us, touch our bodies.
yeah.
And these blankets and baby yams and all of the different kind of products and ideas and things that I get to think about
Mm,
creatively, it's like I can tell the story of like what's possible, like the
mm,
beauty, the love that we're entitled to in our homes, the safety, the covering. And so that's what's exciting about it for
mm.
me.
I love
And then
that.
also people who have bought it, they're really kind, they're really dope, and they like whether they've bought it or they've emailed sharing their stories. I get pictures of the blankets on their baby's cribs or on their grandbaby's cribs, and it's really cool. It's something different for me.
Nice. I love it. I love it. Can you tell my people about your blog, Yam House Diaries?
Yes, so I started EM House Diaries um, just at the beginning of the year in January, and I get to I've never written and shared my writing consistently, but I get to talk about um, I talk about the blankets. I talk about um, how to decorate your nursery, things to look out for. I also get to interview incredible designers. I just interviewed a Black woman founder, Addie. She founded this clothing design company called Dianu.
Mm,
I got to interview her, and she's on the blog. She interviewed me, and I'm on her blog. So that was really cool.
nice.
Um, and coming this Black Maternal Health Week, Yam House Diaries, we're going to have guest bloggers come in, people from the reproductive justice community, doulas, nutritionists, really sharing all of this wisdom that is so, it's like at your fingertips. And I want everybody to have access to it.
Nice. I like that. I like that a lot. You're doing a lot of great things. So, it's Tatiana. Let me ask you this. So, you've done so many things on your journey. What would you say has been your greatest challenge?
My greatest challenge.
Mm,
Can I tell you what my greatest challenge is now?
yeah.
That's more present for me. And I suspect it's been a challenge for a long time. It's also something that I think is in the zeitgeist that people are like talking about.
Hmm.
My greatest, I think one of my greatest challenges is like I was really encouraged even from the time I was little to like work hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like work hard and achieve and like and I was also me, all my cousins, everybody, we were all told this, like, if you know, if you want to succeed, like if everybody's working at 100, you have to work at 150. You
Yeah.
have to like go, go, go. And that's, listen, there's truth to that. It's important to work hard and it's important to see the things that you dream of and not be scared of it, like go for it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's also important to like take care of yourself
Yeah.
and and I don't know if it's called rest. I don't know what it's called. I'm actually dealing with it right now. This is like really raw. But like,
I know what you mean.
yeah, like time for your family, time for your
Yeah.
friends, time to just like be
Yeah, you can
bored.
you can burn yourself out if you don't, if you just focus on
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
you gotta look after your health and everything.
You
So
have to look after your health and you also have to think to yourself, well, like there's kind of a reason, there's a reason that black people especially, that we feel like we have to work. Like we
mm,
can't just rest.
yeah,
We can't just, there are like reasons for that. And so it's cool to work hard and it's cool to be passionate about something. And that's good. That's cool. But it's also cool to like look out for your spirit, you know?
yeah, yeah,
Like, and I suspect that I didn't do, you know, I suspect that that's been a challenge
mm,
probably all my life. And now that I'm a mom and
yeah.
I'm looking after two little spirits, I'm like,
You're like, all right, I gotta pay attention to my babies.
I gotta pay attention to my babies. I don't want to, like when I was a kid, it was like, oh, you can't be like idle hands.
Yeah,
You look like you need to do something. And it's like, no, it's okay. They're just playing.
yes,
That's cool. Let me
yeah,
not. I don't necessarily want to like repeat that. You know what I mean?
hmm,
The work ethic, yeah, but play is important. You
yeah.
know.
And I think that's why, like, probably, like they say, a lot of child actors grow up and become damaged because they didn't really get to be a child and enjoy their me time. So,
Yes. Yes.
so let me ask you this: though, on the flip side of that, what would you say has been your greatest accomplishment?
In my career.
Hmm.
Oh.
Tatiana, like it's so many. No.
No, well, no, you know what? You know what? I am I'm 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 really, oh God, I don't know. Why are you laughing?
See, it's so many. See, I know. See, you
I don't know if that's why. Is that why? I don't know.
Yes, you got so look. You got Image Awards. You got the Fresh Prince. It's just so many of you
Oh
know.
my God, you're embarrassing me. Wait, that's not how because you know what, things always unfold. Like if you're like, I'm competitive, right? But I'm
Yes.
not necessarily competitive with other people. See what I'm saying? I have stuff, okay? I'm like competitive with myself. So I do experience a lot of challenges because I'm like,
Mm.
how can I top this next thing? But ooh, like what do I want to try to do now? And
Yeah.
and how do I get there? And so all those, I do try to like celebrate all the little achievements. So something that might seem really small to someone,
Mm,
or a performance in like a short film that might have been for a student filmmaker, and I was able to achieve things as an
mm,
actor that nobody else did. Like, actually, there's a film like that,
mm,
Samaria. I will always hold that in my heart as like, as an actor, as a performer, as one of the most, that was an achievement for me, because I was completely able to transform into someone who was so different, who had experienced so much, a life that I've not lived at
mm,
all.
mm.
And so there are achievements like that that are that, I know people, that's not what you're asking me,
I
but
know. No, look, it's
but
whatever you think.
that's stuff. One thing that I'm so excited about now is the role that I'm playing on Abbott Elementary.
Mm,
That's the first time that I've been on network television, like primetime network TV,
mm.
I think since Fresh Prince.
Wow.
Yeah.
Salute to you. See,
Oh, that was maybe that one. I was like,
you got to salute to you.
it dawned on me like an episode, like after the first time I did it, I was like, oh my God, like, wow.
So you
So
steady achieving things. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. So look, let me ask you this. Okay. What advice would you give to someone who's trying to, I guess, come in the industry or want to be an entrepreneur, trying to do their thing, but don't know where to start?
I don't know if I can give anybody advice about being an entrepreneur, because I'm still learning. Baby Yams is a baby company. We're just coming on our first year. The advice that I got, and some advice that I would give, is that people first, sometimes if you plan and plan and plan and plan and plan, you can plan yourself out of just doing it.
Mm,
Okay, even if it's, and when you start, it's just something small, just doing it.
mm,
And because sometimes, even with producing, that's how it was for my sister and I. If sometimes you plan so much, you can plan yourself, it'll look crazy, you'll be like, oh no, that's a crazy thing to do, I'm not doing that.
mm.
Because you planned so much, you need to. No, really, like, when I think about me and
But,
my sister, when we were producing, it was at a time when it was really out of necessity.
mhm,
There was like very few Black people on TV.
mhm.
I wasn't, there was very little to audition for. There was like, and everybody, we were all in the same rooms asking people to give us a job. We looked around and we are like, why don't we just let's make stuff. Let's us
Mm,
do it. We'll do it. Me and my sister were in our 20s. We look back at that and I was like, we were crazy, because how did we think to do that? And we would walk into rooms with our,
yeah,
the best we could, like we were babies, but we didn't know what we didn't know.
yeah,
So we didn't know to be scared. We were just like, hey, like, we can do it.
yes,
And we ended up doing it. I think the same is true with like starting a business. Like, you just kind of go for it instead of deciding
be
back.
fearless. Be fearless.
Be fearless and go for it if there's a dream in your heart. I mean, be wise with your money and things like that, so you don't end up in trouble, but like, you can be fearless about it. And what's really incredible about the experience is like having something that was an idea and an
Yeah,
idea,
um, yes.
and then seeing over time how little by little, my husband calls it moving the chains,
Mm,
as you take a step, every day you take a step or two towards what your goal is, towards learning, investigating,
mm,
towards trying things out. Oh, that didn't work. Oh, let me try this. And then months go by and you've been consistent with that, and you go, oh my gosh,
mm,
something now exists
mm.
that used to just be here, and now it's in the world, like
Yeah.
that. And the same is true for acting.
Mhm.
The same is true for acting. Don't worry about what's at the end of the road. You have your big dream, yes, but what's the process? Like, my favorite part of acting is actually the rehearsal period. That is my favorite part. I love being on stage and I love being on set. I love that. But when I get to dissect it, when I get to go through the script and put it on its feet for the first time and struggle through it, that process, which is the same process that I'm talking about with entrepreneurship, like that's where the magic is. And if you fall in love with that process, then the outcomes appear.
Yes. And look,
Actors, if you want to be an actor, like act. Find out what's going on locally. Don't get stuck with this. Like
yes.
that's cool. You could there are a lot of you can do great skits. You can do this is a powerful thing. But there's local theater everywhere. There's productions going on in your school. If you act, act.
Mhm.
There's a lot of productions that I've done that most people don't know about, but I'm an actor and it doesn't matter to me if the audience is small or if it's national or international. This is a story. We have stories to tell.
Mhm.
So
And,
like be in love with the process because that's really where
and look, you tell her the truth. So when I was in high school, I was going to go to state for wrestling, and my stepdad said something to me that lives with me to this day. He was like, "If you allow fear and doubt to creep into your mind, then failure is absolute." So I've always went into everything non-fear, not being afraid of failure, because failure happens with the best of us. So
yes.
even me, I went to college. I write and direct movies. I don't want a film award, like you said, taking that stuff out of your mind and put it to, fruition and everything. So I just love it.
Yes.
Your words are the truth.
Yes, you can't be afraid of failing. And can I be honest?
Yeah.
There was a manager who told me this that's really true. The He was a baseball fan, but he said the players that strike out the most also have the most home runs
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
because you're not afraid to swing.
Wayne.
Got
Yeah.
to swing. And
Yeah.
every time it's not really a failure. It's like oh,
Mm-hmm.
what happened?
You learn from it.
You
Okay.
learn from it. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. It's so
Yeah.
true.
Yes, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. So, do you have anything else coming up that you want to promote?
Do I have anything else coming? No, 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 no. Um, no, I'm doing my acting work, but mostly I'm working on baby yams. We've
Okay.
got this drop. Um, there for I just encourage people to go to the website and check it out. Like it's babyyams.com. The Yam House Diaries are on there. The Quilt Project, which explains the initiative. The Quilt Project is not just the money that the blankets donate, but it's also the information that we're giving out, like through the Yam House Diaries and through guest bloggers um, and yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, my last question that I love to ask all my guests: when it is all said and done, and you are long gone from this earth, what is it that you want the people to know about Tatiana Island? Might have to sip some coffee for this.
Well, what do I want people to know?
Look, even before you answer this, I love that you really always think about you don't just say that you like, I'm gonna really think about this. You know what I'm saying? I love that about you.
Like you're taking up too
You
much time
like,
though. What?
I ain't finna just say anything. I respect that. I love it. Take your time.
Um, what do I want people to know? Oh my God, I don't even know. It's like something I would want to write down. Listen. I mean, I know this is part of it, but like I've spent, you know, my the people closest to me, I want them to, I want them to know how much I love them and how much they formed me. And but I've been telling stories since I was a little girl.
Mm.
And I've never told a story where I didn't consider those who would be watching it,
Mm.
those who would be feeling it.
Mm.
And stories matter.
Definitely.
It's not just the stories that you receive. Some of the most important stories are the stories you tell yourself
Mm-hmm.
about your life and about the people in it and about the world you live in and how you take up space. Those stories are the most important ones. I really believe that stories are everything. That's who we are as people. That's our creative power. So,
I
you
love.
caught me on a day. Maybe
Yeah,
that's why I drink coffee every morning so I could just
I
chill the hell
love.
out. Like, what is happening?
I love. I look. I love. That was a powerful
What
answer.
is
That,
happening?
that was a powerful answer.
Oh God. Look what you did to me.
Hey, look, I love it. Hey, that was powerful. I love it. I love it. I love it. You can look. This whole interview, I see the true passion. Some people you interview it's not that passion, but you see you actually care about what you're saying. You care about what you're doing. You know what I'm saying, and it's very important with anything you do in life. I always tell people, if you want to do something in life, do it because you love to do it. The money is going to come. Don't
That's
worry about money. You know what I'm
that's
saying? Do
right.
it because you love to do it, and God will make a way for you. So I love it.
That is the truth.
So I appreciate you. Thank you. This was an honor for me. I'm gonna write an article about this. I'm gonna drop some snippets. So I'm gonna add you on Instagram. So be looking out
Oh,
for
good.
G Soldier. That is my name on Instagram.
Okay.
GSOULDIER. And I'll see you some snippets. But once again, thank you. This was an honor and I appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
All right. You have a
It's
good
good to
rest of the
meet
day.
you.
All right. You have a good rest of the day.
You too.
All right. Bye bye.